Hello my woolly wanderers and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Joanne and I'm from Repin Crafts. So what's been happening this week? Well, great numbers on the YouTube views this week. We went up to 70. So thank you everybody for watching my video. I also went up to 20 subscribers, which is amazing. And I had a few likes, which is, oh, I'm just so pleased. And some people commented as well. So really, really chuffed with that. What else has been happening? So I decided to tidy up my craft room, which then I was able to find lots of projects which I hadn't started, stroke finished. So we call them in the crafting world UFOs, which are unfinished objects. So I found loads of them. I decided today to make a video to have a look through them today, which I thought that you might enjoy, and maybe it might inspire you to do the same this year. So this is where we're going to start. This bag, I think I started it about 3 years ago. Ooh. Ooh. Whoops. Yeah, I started about 3 years ago. Here it is. It's lovely, isn't it? I made the fabric myself because I just joined it all together like a jelly roll thing. Like that. It's got 3 zips in it. And I'm just finishing the binding now. So I finished this side, that's all done. I've now got to do the same with this side. So I've really nearly finished with this, so I'm so chuffed. I've just got to hand sew this side of the binding because I don't want it to show on the other side. Like, I finished it on that side, so you can't see it, which looks nice. And I'm going to do the same on this side. So that's going to be something that I go through later in the video, so you can see how I've done the binding. I can't even remember how many years I bought this. It's just a topper for a quilt. But I really like the family part of it. So we've got family, forever, and as you can see all the other ones. I've started the family, as you can hopefully see, and the letters for forever, but I haven't done anything else. So that's something I would like to use on the back of my chair. So it's something I'm going to quilt this year and finish. I just wanted to make a note about these safety pins I've used. If you do quilt, these are the best safety pins to use. Okay, they are bent, as you can see, which means when you're trying to get them into fabric, it makes it a lot easier. And when you're quilting, you go through 3 bits of fabric. And so to have something which is bent, which goes in and then back up again, really does help. Okay, so that needs to be finished. My dad took this picture quite a few years ago. It's at night, and actually the light in this craft room has lightened it up. But I really loved it. It's great, isn't it? And this is off Spinnaker Tower over in Gunwharf, which is over that way. Over that way. From my house, we can see Spinnaker Tower from my house actually. So I decided to do a line and wash with it. Not very good, but I just wanted to get the general gist of the shapes because I want to make this into a quilt. I make picture quilts. So I do picture quilts with felted landscapes and picture quilts with wool, and I also do them with material. So that's something I would like to start and hopefully finish this year. At another craft show, my mum bought me this. He's gorgeous, isn't he? So you can see different work I've done on him with the eyes, etc. So I'm just embellishing it with embroidery because I just wanted to put, I didn't want it to just be that on its own. I wanted it to have something that I've done with it as well. And then I'm going to make it into a cushion. That's that one. I like to cross stitch. So hopefully I'll finish this soon. That was already painted on. That's how much I've done. So I've just got to finish the light blue and the greens. So I think that's something I'll be able to get done relatively soon. My friend Sarah bought me this. 1 year. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Happiness. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice. Great advocate for that. So I love that. That's from Aldi, actually. And you get the whole kit. I mean, this is a few years ago she bought me this. But you actually got the hoop with that as well. So yeah, nice. You'll laugh at this one. This is something, so I watch Alison Holt on video. I'll put the link in the description below. And yeah, she does free motion sewing on her sewing machine. And she has silk, she does it on silk. So she paints, this is silk paint, she paints with that on the silk. But as you can see, it's all really well packaged, so I won't damage it, but it's not opened. So I've got to do that. I really wanted to have a go at it, but haven't got around to it yet. So that's something else I'd like to have a go at. Here's her book, which is just amazing. So this is the silk that you can see. And all of this is being done by a sewing machine. Yes, all of that. Look at that on the back. Sorry about the light glaring off it. But look at that. That is so realistic, isn't it? It's unbelievable that I'll just open up one of the pages to show you. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? So yeah, I'll put her video link, YouTube link in the description so you can have a look at her videos as well. I'm sure you'll be as impressed as I am. Okay, long-term projects. This is English paper piecing, hexagons. It is something I've been doing for absolutely years. I wanted it initially to be a king-size quilt. I even laugh at myself when I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm unsure whether that's going to be a king-size quilt because it's taken me so long to get to there. But I don't do it all the time because I do so many other things. So it's something I pick up if I go to my quilting club and I can't think what to take, it's something I take. Or if I'm in the evenings and I'm, you know, not doing anything else, then I'll sit and do that. Essentially, you're making hexagons. I've got a big shot, so I cut out the material with the big shot, with the bigger size. I use magazine paper, and then you would put it together, fold it all down, and you end up with, I feel like Blue Peter, one of these. Here's one I did earlier. Yes. So that's with it all sewn round. And then you join them together. Really happy to go through that if anybody wants to know how to do that, because it's so relaxing and it's easy to do, and we've all got scraps of material. So that's amazing scrap buster. Okay. My mum started a journal of stitchery, I don't even know how long ago, years ago. And I said, well, I'll start doing that. Anyway, this is as far as I got. I like it. That's all my stuff on the back. So I didn't really get any further than that. I bought all this lace, because I loved lace. I bought all these little embellishments and learned how to do that. Dorset, whatever it's called, can't remember. Did the writing and yeah, loved it, but didn't carry on with it. So that's, I want to make a little journal of stitches. Sorry, as it says on the title. Yeah, so I want to spend some time with her doing some sewing with you guys, so you can see it as well. I thought you might enjoy that. And she would hate me using the word guys, so sorry about that, Mum. I used the word guys. People, welcome people. Okay, I've done punch needling with varied success. Not sure I've been using the right cloth. I don't know what I was trying to make out of that. I think I was just having a go at it. So I bought this kit at a show. There we are. I wasn't too keen on the colours, but as you can see, I haven't started it yet. But that's essentially what's in the kit. And then I will use my own walls because I don't like those colours on there. So unsure when that's going to be finished, but I would quite like to do that because it's an easy thing to do, but I just haven't got the right material, I don't think, to do it, because I keep putting massive holes in everything I do. So whether I'm doing it too hard or my punch needle isn't sharp enough, unsure. So that's something I need to investigate a bit more. I bought this kit at another show, and it's by So Enchanting, sorry. So, as in so enchanting. This bag. It's lovely, isn't it? I just fell in love with it. I thought I've got to get that. I really, really like the colours. It's like a pea bag, opens up like that. So it's just like one of those amazing bags if you go to a craft fair. And we all know how much we buy at craft fairs. You could just hide it all in there so you don't really know. No, I loved it. So I am definitely going to finish that with you watching, hopefully, because I think that would be a nice thing for us to go through together. So I'll put a link in the description. I'm unsure if they still sell them, but to the company anyway, because they do some really lovely kits on So Enchanting. At the front of this bag though, on the front of there, as you can see, is this. And I have started embroidering it, but I don't know if you're like me, but I'm not very good with bags. And when I go somewhere, I just chuck it on the floor and, you know, sit down, have a cup of coffee, whatever. And this is white, as you can see. And I've spent a lot of time on it. And by the time I finish it, I would have spent a lot of time on it. So my thoughts are, I love that tree actually, I did. My thoughts are, do I really want to spend all of that time doing this and for it to get dirty? I don't think so. So I think what will happen with this bag is you will have the front and that panel will not be on it, and it will be up on a wall somewhere, and I will have it framed, because I think that's a really nice panel, but too nice to go on in the front of a bag, especially with it being white. So what have I been doing this week? You're going to laugh at this. So I've started making a 3D, well, my husband calls it dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur. Hopefully for you out there watching, you might know it's going to be a squirrel. Of course, it's nowhere near a squirrel at the minute. But what happened was, I did this Henry Hare with Philippa Felt's Thinkific tutorial, which you can just go onto her website and go to courses, and then you can go onto Thinkific and then you can download the course. It cost me £5 to do it, and I really loved it. I changed it because I wanted him to have bigger feet, which he does, and I changed the shape of the ears because our bunny does all different things with his ears. So I thought, I'm going to give it a go myself. So I made the armature up, started wrapping it with wool yesterday, and I've used probably about 200 grams of wool. I know, incredible. I just can't believe how much wool that's taken. So when I do make these into kits, because I do want to, if it comes out nicely, it will be smaller, because this is about 10 inches big. I mean, honestly, it's huge. So, and he's a bit wonky. But for my first go, I'm really, really chuffed with it. So let's see where we go with this. And I'd like him to be holding these acorns. This year I went and collected, oh, stand up, acorn shells. I'll just show you. And then I felted these little acorns into them, which I think look quite sweet. So I've got a feeling that these might go together. We shall see. We shall see what happens. So watching YouTube, my mum watches YouTube a lot, and she watches something, sorry, I'm looking this way so I remember the title, To Be Loved Treasures by Corrine. And she said to me, oh, this lady I watch on YouTube has got this incentive about giving things away, and I thought that's a really good idea. So looking through everything when I was tidying up, I found this. Haven't used it at all, not even been opened. I got it for me and my son about a couple of years ago, and he's far too cool now at nearly 16 to do this with me. So I thought, do you know what? This is something that someone else would love to do. So I'm going to give this to the Rowans charity shop in Stubbington near us, because they do craft stuff and someone will really enjoy doing that. You may also like to give it to a friend. You know, if you've got a friend who you know crafts and you've got a project and you think, do you know what, I'm just never ever going to finish that, but I know who might, give it to them. and see what they think. I mean, they may give it back to you, but hopefully they might get on and do it as well, and it will be their craft. And you know, I just think let's try and get behind this, because we've got so many things. Well, you can see how many, and I don't think this is everything. In fact, I know it's not everything. So I think it's a really good initiative for us to grab hold of on this channel too. And what I'd really love everybody to do is, if you do that and you think of something and you have something, then please comment below and send me a picture so that I can then pass it on to other people. I don't know if you can send pictures, but at least comment. That would be really great. Anyway, it's been really great how the channel has actually going up. So that's really amazing. When you subscribe, it doesn't cost a penny. It just helps me as a YouTuber. You know, YouTube get hold of the algorithm, and basically, you know, the more people that watch my videos, they'll then think, oh, I can pass that on to someone else and see if they like it too. So let's try and make this community, which is in my head. I've got to get out of my head, and let's see if we can push this forward together. I really look forward to seeing your comments, likes, subscribes, hopefully this week. Let's move the channel beyond 70 views this week. Let's see how we can go. If you like it and you think someone else might like it, then share it to them. You can do that with YouTube as well. Just press the share button, and then you can email it to someone, or WhatsApp it, or I don't know, something like that, message. But please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you like the rest of the video. Bye. Okay, here I am attaching the zip now to the bag. As you can see, I'm folding it in half first. I've folded the bag in half and I've put a pin on it. As you can probably see at the top, you'll see that I'll offer the zip up to the pin, so I know they're in exactly the same place. Oh no, I hadn't already done it. There we are. Fold the bag in half, put a pin on it. And then I'm gonna offer the zip the right way, because obviously you've got to make sure that it goes in the right way, so that they're both, so that it manages to do up. So they're both together now. Can you see? Obviously can you see? I've zoomed in there for you so you can see. Then I'm just going to go along and pin the zip to the bag. So it will literally go bag, zip, and then the binding goes over the top. So now I get the binding, which I've put the pin in. That's what I saw earlier. So I'm getting them all matched up. So the pins that I've put in the zip, I want to take off the back and now put onto the binding. Because we obviously don't want the pins underneath, because we won't be able to sew otherwise. I'm putting that right next to the zip, getting it as close as I can to the zip, and then pinning it in. So basically I do that all the way along. It's quite a long zip. We don't want any puckering, so yeah, I'm taking out any pins that I don't need to make sure we don't get any puckering. We want it as flat as can be because we really want the zip as flat. We really want the lining, no, we really want the binding, sorry, as flat as it can be next to the zip. I knew I'd get there eventually. Yeah, as you can see, I was taking out the one from the zip to put it in front. So we want nothing underneath. Because this zip's so long, we end up with just binding and zip and none of the bag underneath. I'm not actually teaching you how to make this bag because the rights are for the person who made it, who made the pattern, but I'm just teaching you how to put a zip in and using this as an example because it's my UFO that I really do need to finish. Okay, as you can see, I've gone right the way to the edge there. As I said, I don't want any puckering. I want it as flat as can be. And basically what that binding does then is it folds over and will then be the binding which goes onto the front of the bag, and that's the bit you'll actually see. And what I'll be doing with that binding is hand sewing it. So I don't attach both bindings together because you can fold it over if you wanted and do that, but I don't do that because it can often end up in disaster. A disaster, darling, because you end up with not a straight line on the front of your bag, and the front of the bag is the bit you are going to see and everybody else is going to see. So I want that. I don't want to see any machine sewing on that. I just want to do it by hand, which is how I do my bindings on my quilts as well. Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate how to make how I've made the binding for this. This is actually the tab that we'll be talking about later. So it's not actually wide enough, but essentially this is what I do. I lightly iron the middle, so I've got a centre point. I then bring in each side. Now please be very careful with this because it's very hot. I've already decided in my wisdom to pick the iron up with my fingers, so that wasn't a good idea. Anyway, so there we go. One side done. Coming in for the other side. This is the bit where it gets hot. And then I just stretch the material out so that they're both coming to the centre. Sorry about the steam. Okay, so that is essentially what the binding would look like, although it would be about that much wider. Okay, so both sides are brought into the middle. I'm going to show how that translates. I'm going to move the iron out of the way to this. Okay, so I'm just going to undo it so you can see it a bit. That's what it would look like if it was completely undone. Obviously I've sewn it in as well, so it's not completely undone. You can see it's a lot wider than the bit I've just ironed. You can see it's wider. Okay, so like I've said, what the both bits to the middle. So I've got this shape. I then bring the side of the binding, so I fold it over and bring that up to the zip, and essentially that's where I'm going to start sewing along there. You're going to hear me talk about a zipper foot. So that's a zipper foot, as you can see. The foot goes along the zip and your needle will come into here. you can see you're sewing right next to the zip, which gives you a really lovely finish, as you can see. So you're sewing right next to the zip. You can't really see my stitches because I did it in the same colour. Hopefully you can see them, and hopefully that's explained a bit more about the foot and about how to make the binding. Okay, as you can see, I've offered up the fabric up to the zip. I have my zipper foot on, as you saw in the last clip. I'm then going really slowly next to the zipper foot. I don't want to rush this because I don't want to undo it. I don't want to do that backward sewing we know so well. I just want it to go on first time. So I'm just taking it really slow. As you can see, I keep straightening out the fabric. I did have clips and pins in, because I just wanted the fabric to stay still. And off I go again. My son's just emptying the dishwasher, as you can hear, so if you can hear background noise, so about that. Almost finished, and off he goes upstairs again. Okay, here we go. I think the most difficult bit about a zip is going past the zip, actually, which sounds weird, but it is. This isn't too bad. You know, people get really frightened about zips and don't end up putting them in because they say they can't do it. But if you take things slowly, you know, it's actually fine. Just make sure you keep straightening it out because you don't want it to pucker at all. Hence the zips, you know, sorry, hence the pins. Can I just give a bit of advice as well? When you put the pins in, make sure you face them the other way to what you're sewing, so that the pin is not coming towards your finger. So that when you take it out, you're taking it out by the head. Because I've done it both ways, and trust me, this is the better way. Right, we're coming up to the zip now, which is, it's a bit tricky going past the zip. You want to get past it and then zip it off as soon as possible. But you do have to go past it. And then as you can see, I move it out of the way as soon as it's gone past, and then I can carry on then. Okay, I've turned the project over, so now I'm going up to the zip the other way. Obviously you've got two sides of a zip, and I want to have them both sides covered. Here is the bag. I haven't quite finished it, and I promised by next week I would have fully finished it.